Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litza and this is Coco, and today we're bringing you episode 5 in our mini series, How Many OGos Does It Take to Crochet ... But before we get started, Coco is eagerly awaiting her afternoon tea, which is some protein, her chicken, which she absolutely loves. So Coco will say woof woof to all of you. I'll just pop her down on the floor. She's got her beautiful purple bowl waiting to be filled with her chicken. There we go. Excellent. She can munch away on that as always and then have a little disco nap, I'm sure, because the sun is streaming into our room here and I'm sure she'll take advantage of that. Hope you're all well. Thank you so much for joining us. Those of you that are new, and we do have quite a few new friends joining us, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. Now, this mini series, as we said, this is episode number 5. So please go and see our playlist OGo Yarn, and in that you'll see the huge OGo yarn haul that we had close to about 6 months ago now, I'm guessing. And ever since then, I've had to create ways to use the yarn. I have used it in bigger projects, but today I'm going to show you how many OGos, and it will be one OGo, it took to create what I'm going to show you next. But before we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about the OGo yarn that I used. So for those of you that aren't familiar, an OGo yarn is like a donut of yarn, and it has 5 different colors in it. Various colors. This is the colorway Overboard, and I absolutely love working with this yarn. It is a bulky number 5. It is 100% acrylic. Gorgeous colors in this one. And a few more little stats, 6.4 ounces or 180 grams in each little OGo, and 228 yards or 208 meters. Now, it does say it recommends to use a number 6 millimeter hook, which I did do so, my beautiful Clover, one of my favorite hooks, to create what you ask. Can cozies. Now, I'll show you the ones I've made and then we'll work out how many can you get from one OGo. Now, these are gorgeous. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, and a half. So I think that is excellent value to get 8 can cozies from one OGo. Imagine the parties that you could have. Everyone could have their own little can cozy. When you're done with them, you wash them, rinse them, hang them up to dry, and they're out again. You'll never have wet dripping marks on your tabletops or bench tops again. I'll show you how I made them. So simple. I know that there is a myriad of, tutorials on the different styles that you could make, but very basic. All you need to do is start off with, well, I used a magic ring, but you can use a 4 chain if you wish, or 3 chains to work into. So you do 12, and this is all US terminology, 12 double crochets and then 2 in each, creating 24. Then the next row, what I did is in each double crochet, I crocheted in the back loop only to make this little, well, it's not like a ridge, but to make it sit up, so to create the little wall to start it. And then only 6 rows plus 1 row of single crochet at the top. The reason why we decided on 6 rows, and when I say we, my girlfriend Wendy, hey Wendy, thank you for your input. She said, well, when you put the can to your mouth, you don't want to be touching the crocheted little cup cozy, and I thought that was a great idea. So I'll show you the different ones that I make up close now, and you can create them with any pattern design that you wish, and that is the beauty of them. And you could also make them if you had like the thinner cans, because I know that there are drinks in thinner cans nowadays. You probably could get away with just the 1 row. And if you needed to make it a little bit bigger, you could go like with a half double crochet to do your, 2 stitches in one. You can play around with it, depending on what size cans you're using. Now, this little itty bitty baby one as well, I remember back in the day when I was younger, and you know what, I'm not sure if they still make them. They used to have the half cans, and we'd always have them at parties. So I wonder if they're still available. I certainly haven't seen them, but I haven't been looking for them either. Anyway, I went off on a little tangent. So the first one that I showed you was just all one color, double crochets and 1 row of single crochet. Then this one here is I did some color changing, and I'll show you, for those of you that don't know how to do that with an OGo, you can either use it as a self-striping yarn, but for little projects I like to pull them apart, and that way I can color control what I need. So back to this one, again with its little base. And I try to keep the bases with the darker colors because they sit on surfaces to keep them cleaner. But then again, like I said, very easy to wash all of these. Pop them in the washing machine, take them out, hang them up to dry, probably with a little peg like that. And this one's got the 3 different colors. Then we have this one, and I used, for this one, I did one of my favorite stitches, the cross double crochet. In there I've got a half double crochet, and then I continued to the very top until I built it to the same size as the others. And then this one, again, just using the 2 different colors. Absolutely gorgeous. With this one, I did some, carrying the yarn across so that I could use the 2 different colors. I thought it turned out pretty cute. And this one, I based it on, as you can see here, all the water bottle holders that I have been creating. I thought, I wonder if it sits up as easy on a can, and it certainly does, because the bottom row and the top row of the double crochets keep it in place, and of course your little row of single crochets absolutely keeps it in place. So I thought that that was really, really cute. Oh, and there you go, I've done a little bit of changing the colors down, carrying the colors across there as well, because I tried to extend the yarn as much as I could. That was my whole basis for this little episode, to see how, to maximize the use of the yarn. I love this one as well. It's got that little row of puff stitches there. You can see them there, very, very pretty. I love this royal blue color. And then this one again, just some striping, which I color controlled. Absolutely love it. Now, I have a bag made out of OGo yarn, which I keep my OGo scraps in. It is this gorgeous, gorgeous scrap tote made by a pattern by Sara, and I will put that in the description down below. I absolutely love it. In here are all my leftover, OGo yarns that I'm keeping, which I'm slowly putting into projects, and maybe I'll make something bigger eventually. But with this OGo, I only have this amount of blue to pop in there and just this tiny bit of white. But the great thing is I'm going to be able to dip into my OGo yarn scrap bag and get some more yarn out so I can finish this cup cozy. So rest assured, it won't just be sitting there unfinished. I will be finishing it off so I have one more complete cup cozy. Now, for those of you that haven't seen how to pull apart the OGo yarn so that you can do, your color controlling, I'll just show you quickly with this one, because I used the other one to create a beanie and it's just sitting there. So most of it is little scrap balls, but this one happens to be a larger part of the OGo. But in the OGo yarn haul video in our playlist, I do go through all of it, how to open it up, get it all unraveled, and the way to use it. So if you're interested, please go across and watch that. Now, what you quite simply do is just pull the yarn apart like that, gently put your fingers in and slide it off, and there you go. That's how you separate your OGo yarn if you want to do color controlling. Of course, you don't need to do that, but as I said, because these are little projects, I like to, make sure that I've got a little bit of color controlling. But with this little one, for example, I ran out of this steel blue color here, and I just had to pop that in there. I don't think anyone will mind when they've got their little can in there. And as I said, what I love about this is that no more drips. I get so annoyed. Annoyed is a bit of a strong word, but I'm forever wiping down bench tops and tabletops when we're using anything that comes out of the fridge or one of those big buckets of ice at parties and that, because there's water drips everywhere. With this, you'll never have that problem again. I am so excited about that. So let's pop this back into my scrap bin. As you can see behind me, I've got such a beautiful, array of colors to dip into. So I'm wondering what our next episode is going to be all about. I do have a little list with suggestions from the last episode or the previous one, because a lot of you did make some suggestions, but I really wanted to make the can cozies this time. So I will refer to the list. So for now, we've done episode 1 was beanies, episode 2 was headbands, episode 3 was cup cozies, episode 4 was scrunchies, and now episode 5 is can cozies. So thank you so much for joining us for our little mini series, how many OGos does it take to crochet ... Look out for the next episode. I'm not sure when it's going to come to you, but it will be as soon as I create something with some more of my gorgeous OGos. So thank you everyone for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Hope you're all keeping well. Coco, I'm not sure if you can hear her in the background, but she is definitely having a beautiful little disco nap right now. Oh, like I always say, to be Coco for a moment or just for a day. That would be wonderful. So Coco says woof woof. I say take care, and we shall see you all again in another video. Bye bye everybody.